last night was a heavy night, possibly one of the heaviest that some of you have ever had, and people have tried to describe hangovers before. They've all failed when they're trying to describe this one. So I'm not going to. It would involve hammers, nails, planks of wood, beating of drums, gongs, that kind of thing. But let's just not go there. You guys are not well. In various states of dishevelled undress. Some of you were crawling towards corners. It was a Vostroyan firewater night, and that's all you'll ever be able to say about it. However, you do perfectly recall everything that happened before you all took your first drink, but nothing after. Could you give me a rundown about like where you think your character would end up after a night like that? Let's start with Vladimir.
I'd be in, pretty average shape. There was only one bottle and we had to share it, so I'm not going to be that too far gone. I'm probably a bit shaken though. I read the binder, so I've read some names that I don't understand but make me feel a bit funny, and just probably sat awake wishing there was another bottle of firewater and being worried until I eventually passed out.
Romulus.
The last thing I went to do was polish up my armor whilst having another glass of the firewater. So I think I have passed out at my chair in my little room, just like slumped in my chair.
Keller, would you have woken up from where you fell?
I seem to remember I unbelievably horribly failed that toughness test.
It was like minus. You felt it like 7 degrees or something.
It was absolutely horrific. So I imagine I have not moved even upon awakening. I probably woke up and go, damn, and just lie there until I'm capable of breathing properly. Should probably take a while.
Jana is crawling towards what's woken you all up, which is a small beeping module from where that was attached to his belt. Don't worry, not a bomb. More like a beeper.
Please make it stop. Please stop it.
So Keller, you're kind of like looking straight up at the ceiling because turning your head left or right, or even trying to look down at your chest would be just too much. Just too much. And eventually the beeping does stop, and there's a groan, and you hear the noise of Jana begrudgingly getting to his feet and strapping his gear on and leaving the apartment.
As he goes, I'm going to call after him. Say, have a good morning, friend. Don't forget to eat something nice and meaty. Get your stomach back to proper.
I will cut your balls off if you do not shut up. Jesus.
Speaking of nice and meaty. Good morning. How is your head?
Have you ever had your forehead smashed between two ice floes before?
No.
This is worse. This is worse.
This is what we call hanging over.
Hanging over what?
Some say a precipice filled with dangerous broken beasts and angry men with no teeth. Others simply say the precipice beyond which is ever-living death. But mostly it's just the memory of the night before, which is not there. So it is empty, and you may hang over it.
Did I cut a guy's arm off?
Yeah.
Initially, yes.
It's not as bad as what Jenna did to that other guy, though.
Who's Jana?
The guardsmen are rescued.
There was a guardsman?
No, he fucks off about saying thank you again.
Oh.
Yes, it was his beepy that woke us. Well, for the most part. Are you technically awake?
What does technically mean?
Properly. To being, how you say, my Imperial Gothic is not so good. How are you saying, Romulus, technically?
Oh, be quiet. Oh.
Agreed.
I will make some breakfast. Wait
Good
here.
idea.
I'm going to see what there is available to whip up into food.
Okay, there is. You could call it a kitchen, but you would be wrong. It's a small metal area with a trough, with a tap, with a wide gauge nozzle. There are like implements for like sort of like basically like shallow bowls and spoons in the cupboard underneath. Romulus, you've seen this before. This is quite a common method of eating in a hive.
Where is the meat? Where is grain and what
I'll
do I do?
wander through to help him. You just do this. I'll stick a bowl under and turn the tap on.
Okay. Some fairly sort of grey sludge with sort of brown specks in it slides out of the tube, and the first bit misses the bowl and splatters onto the trough.
Just like Mother used to make.
What is that?
It's food.
No, that is not food. Food comes on a plate with there's some slimy bits with we call it gravy, maybe some vegetables. You have all of that on hive worlds.
Boy, better get used to it.
Ay, boy.
I'm gonna clap him on the
Slop
shoulder.
for 3.
And I'm gonna sit down and start eating my slurry.
I'll take a bowl of slurry through to Keller.
Did one of you Skylord Forsaken Sunsiders steal my fucking las pistol?
No.
You were pretty drunk in there. You didn't leave it behind, did you?
I don't know.
If
What
you
the
did,
f-
it's gone. It's gone.
What is that crap?
Slurry.
Oh, fuck. No thanks. Oh.
Then you will go hungry.
Yeah. Yep, I will. Where's my spear? Oh, fuck, it's there, don't worry. Good. Ben, at this point I'm going to make a toughness test to try and sit up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna grab a beer quickly.
Okay.
BRB.
I pass. I assume there's no negatives.
No. You regain your feet. Vlad, does anyone want to make a knowledge test on this food?
Sorry, based on what knowledge? I've got knowledge underworld.
Knowledge. You've got knowledge underworld, really?
From Assassin.
Ah, okay. That was from when you were on Scintilla, wasn't it? Like, if we're going to try and justify why you've got knowledge underworld.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can use that to roll.
By knowledge, do you mean common law, or?
I do mean common law.
Thing?
Yeah, I guess that.
Cool. I thought I'd lost something.
Intelligence based. I don't know, my intelligence is awful.
Back.
Hey.
Yes, that's a pass. Just 2.
And Vlad, do you have anything?
No, I don't have. I have knowledge of the Imperial Guard, but I don't think even we serve there.
No. Not unless you were ever stationed on a hive.
No.
Okay, this is something that Romulus already knows, but Keller, you recall vaguely from your time on Scintilla, with the few bits and pieces that actually managed to get into your mind before it completely overwhelmed you. That hivers eat their own.
Okay. Yeah, I've just remembered. Yeah, I will not be eating that.
All right. And why?
Back on my home world, we well, sometimes you're stuck on a canoe and the ice comes in, and there's three of you, and only two of you come back, or maybe one comes back missing a leg, but there wasn't any accidents.
I have no idea what a canoe or ice is.
Okay. It's got people in it.
No, yeah.
It's just got what?
I don't really remember. I assume they didn't. Did they kill people for it, or is it like just dead people? I don't know.
You only remember the phrase "hivers eat their own."
Okay. I wasn't joking when I said it was just like Mom used to make. And I'm gonna tuck right in.
Going to vomit into my moustaches.
It's got to happen every session.
Yeah.
Something's got to happen to your moustaches every session. Okay, so yeah, Keller, you are gonna go hungry. From until you find a different source of food, I'm gonna be imposing fatigue.
Okay, cool. One level or?
Yeah, we'll go for one level because you've been here for about 24 hours now. So.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
Right. So with the morning and the fast being broken, it's probably time for you guys to decide what you're going to be doing with your time on Malfi before the second wave of the Cabal arrives in about a month's time, under a month's time.
Okay. I'm gonna have a flip through that document that Thingy brought. Vlad brought.
I don't remember a lot, guys. So, Jesus, oh fucking hell! What? Put blood on my face again. Oh, right. Did we find anything out, or did we just kill some bastards?
The Inquisition on this planet are heretical.
Okay.
Nothing off the Winkies.
Did we kill an Inquisitor?
No.
Good. I'm glad about that. I think.
I mean, not for lack of trying, but.
So who did we kill? Let's start there. Who did I kill?
Acolytes.
Good.
You poked him in the arm and he kind of and then all the stuff came out. Oh, this was gross.
Do you not remember the flamer?
Oh. No.
Anyway, we've got this folder, and this is a good place for us to start our job.
I kind of grab it off you and start flicking through it.
Can you read?
No. I hand it back to you.
Thank you. Can I just get a quick refresher on what?
Yeah, you can.
Use that?
There were 5.
While he's being refreshed, sorry, I will give it to Keller in terms I think she'll understand from having read it several times.
Okay.
We don't have to repeat the information.
There are five headings or sections inside this binder with lots of sort of handwritten notes. Some of them are printed out in sort of like a telegram kind of style. And there are 5 headings: mutants, masked, underhive, menagerie, and castruccio. Which one will you flick to first?
I'll just go in order.
In order? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it appears that the mutants are led by a man called Raga. There is no information about Raga. But this particular acolyte that you killed last night was a man named Harlock. And Harlock thought that he's pretty sure that someone inside the hive has been giving the mutants weapons. You can pretty much attest to that, because they used a surface-to-air missile to bring down your shuttle. The entry continues that this is bad for the hive, because anything that isn't recycled people in the food, the food has to be supplemented with actual food. So hive worlds are massively reliant on imports from grain worlds and other worlds as well. So shuttles going down is a bad thing for the hive, but the perimeter defences have not been attacked by these mutants for 2 years. The next entry is under the masked, as in like a masquerade. It begins by saying that they are real, and that the Inquisitor believes that the noble Noctine Malus leads them, and that he wishes to challenge his great aunt's supremacy. The great aunt that he's referring to is, of course, the Eminence Gladys Matriarch, who's ruled Malfi for God knows how long, Emperor knows how long. She used to be sharp as anything, but more recently, her age is sort of getting to her. Anyway, so that's as far as that entry goes. Do any of you know who the masked are? Actually, we can do that in conversation afterwards, don't worry about it. The third entry is for the Underhive, and Harlock claimed that the Underhive is a bomb waiting to go off. The Underlords are a group of Underhivers who have manifested powerful psycho abilities in the last 2 years. They have used them to dominate the other gangs, and as far as he's aware, the only leader that he is aware of is a man named Null. These are, of course, all completely unsanctioned, and the Underhive is so kind of impossible to penetrate, as you well know, Romulus, that the the Inquisitor's had his own stuff to deal with, that it hasn't been checked at all in the last 2 years. So basically, that's a gang of psychers in the Underhive who've risen to supremacy. The fourth entry is under the Menagerie. The most recent entries say that the Menagerie were behind the attack at Market 37, which was the market that you were at. So you were actually a witness to that attack. He seems to be indicating that more attacks similar to that have happened over the last few years. The Inquisitor believes that the Menagerie are drawing their followers from the asylums near the Underhive. So that would be in the Lower Hive. The name Malatest has been mentioned several times by the so-called Revealers. The Revealers are the people that actually follow out carry on the attacks. And the final one is it's not under its own section. It's just almost like a mission statement, and it basically sum it up. It says that the Inquisitor Castruccio Rex believes that Slaanesh's influences in Malfi are in the Struts, and that the Dark Prince has been Rex's adversary for many years, but the Inquisitor intends to use the Chaos God for his own purposes. And then a small section about how it somehow ties into the fact that Harlock was a eunuch, and that he had chaotic symbols on the ragged scars. So that's sort of like the gist of everything that's in the binder. There are a few more bits of information, but they're more kind of like transcriptions of conversations that I've overheard, but like that kind of stuff.
I think we need to aim within our means. We're not getting into high society, and there's not enough of us to take on an entire planetary Inquisition force. Don't
As
much.
far as high society goes, I can probably, take us up a few steps.
It could work. Well, you know about high society, and I know about the Underhive.
I don't think I would do so well with nobles.
It's not like we can pass for my bodyguard and beautiful wife. Okay,
You flatterer.
next plan, Romulus.
We could try and tangle with the Underhive, or go to the Lower Hive and try and work out something about this menagerie. And then there's those robes we have. I'll point to the 2 piled up robes in the corner.
When the fuck did we get them?
Last night.
I went shopping.
We might not be able to take on the Inquisition, but we might be able to find some information. It means going in the belly of the beast, though.
Well, where do we start, though?
If you want to get to belly, normally through mouth. There is another entrance, but not so pleasant.
Well, sorry if I'm following this wrong, but we just killed those guys last night, and we don't know where anyone else is.
Duh.
So, weren't the menagerie those guys... Well, did you say those guys that blew up that port we were in?
Duh, the brightly colored men.
The ones you ran away from like a little girl, yeah.
I don't like loud noises. I toy with the spear a bit.
Well,
I was going to say maybe we should go after them before they blow up any more people.
Yes, they need to leave some for you.
All right. So I think that sounds like a good idea. It's a manageable problem, and I've got an idea of where we could start.
What's an asylum? Is it like a hab?
You have madmen on your planet, right? Loons?
Wet jobs.
Well, we've got the Sky Touch, that's what you mean, but they get taken away by the big sky ships?
Bit like that. But people get taken
away. Do you mean like ice madness? Like when a guy spends too much out on the snow and he comes back and he beats his wife to death?
That sort of thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, that happened to my neighbour. He was a dick.
Not the beating to death thing. You do that in a hive, you'll end up with breakfast. But, the whole coming back and not being right in the head, that's what an asylum's for.
Why not just kill him?
You know that they're used for extremely menial labor.
Menial labor, and worst comes to worst, you can cook one's brain out and turn it into a servitor. As I say servitor, I get a bit of a 1,000-yard stare for a minute, but quickly shake it off.
Oh yeah, I remember them. Oh, creepy.
Very useful. Moving boxes, serving drinks. I like servitor.
Alright, so it's a place where crazy people go and live?
That's one way of putting it. Wouldn't really call it living.
And are they free just to go out? How the fuck do they join this menagerie?
That's what we'll have to find out.
But I assume they're meant to be like guarded. Otherwise,
well, yeah, you'd think. I was thinking I could try and blend in with the local arbiters. Try and get some information about what's going on,
Perhaps if there is any Imperial Guard involvement, I could...
Not within the hive, generally. PDFs more than Imperial Guard.
This far, you say. It's concerning. I must say, I am quickly growing afield of your high worlds.
One thing I could say, a lot of the words that Keller here uses, not words anyone in the Hive will have any kind of knowledge of. And you can pull off the noble stick, right, Vlad?
Duh.
You could maybe get in one of these asylums as a wealthy father with a sky-touched daughter, maybe?
You don't have to
What do you
patronize me.
think?
I'm not trying to be patronizing. I think you could pull it off.
Perhaps half a glass of firewater. You know, sell it.
Fine, where do I come in?
Well, you have a sky-touched daughter, obviously. Just be you.
All right.
All right. I'll write a note for our guardsman friend, and you two get yourself cleaned up. Don't get yourself too cleaned up, Keller.
Yeah. I'm wearing dirty fur. I got... Yeah, well, not actually. No, did I say I was wearing them? Can't remember. Yeah.
You were definitely wearing the body glove. I don't know whether you were wearing your...
Yeah, I vaguely would have gone without them because they stand out a bit. So I probably wouldn't have them with me. But I am covered in blood, which helps.
Romulus, have you got a judgment call on whether or not actually being covered in blood is a good idea?
That's a bit much. Maybe clean off the blood.
Fine. How? Do we get running water in these shit piles?
Try the kitchen. There's running people.
This high up in the hive, there is running water. Yeah, there's a shower room.
Okay, I go and take a shower, I guess then.
Okay. Are you going to leave yourself
That's
fairly
pee.
sort of Are you going to leave yourself fairly sort of straggly?
Yeah, that's kind of impossible not to be.
Impossible not to be. Okay. Greasy hair, but like actually all the blood is off you.
The hair is so greasy that the water kind of bounces off.
Yeah, this is a plan. I'm not really expecting it to have to lie to anybody.
Okay, and Vlad, what are you doing?
I have a small selection of brushes that I keep for personal use. One for the moustache, one for the beard, separate bristles. Don't want to mix the two. Also the lint brush that I use to clean my glorious red coat. I'm going to get myself looking as spick and span as Vostroyanly possible. And today, because it's a cardinal sin to miss 2 in a row, I will be greasing my moustaches.
I'll go get in my arbiter armor and helmet, but actually shabby it down a little bit to normal, seeing as I were going to be under hive.
You literally just cleaned that thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not like dirtying it, but like just like it's a little bit untucked. My badge is askew.
Okay, so wearing it slightly.
Yeah, like I'm not like by the code book, but
Are you sure you're capable of doing that?
it hurts.
All right, okay. So when the three of you are ready, you.
I won't suck it in quite as much.
Okay. I'm gonna. What about the spear? Is what I'm thinking next. I can't carry that one.
Is it collapsible, your spear?
No.
No, even slightly, because I'd use it as a cane. That's it.
You could potentially take the head off it and use it as a staff, but that's not gonna. It's not exactly. It's basically a bit of wood from my home planet.
Yeah, I'm picturing it as like a bit of wood with a big aquatic creature's tooth on it.
Well, no, it's got like a modern mono spearhead on it. So it's like.
I was thinking it was like it'd be cool if it was like bone edged.
Yeah, potentially, it's probably more likely to be bone than wood because it's a nice planet after all. I hadn't really thought about it that much actually. So yeah, something like some kind of bone staff, but it's not going to be something you could use as like a walking stick.
Very clearly a deadly implement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it staying behind?
It's probably going to have to, which is going to pain me.
I've got my sword.
No
I'm
way
pretty sure you can punch. I'm pretty sure you could punch your way past a couple of orderlies.
Maybe. Okay.
Okay, and what is everyone else taking in terms of gear / leaving?
I'm taking all my shit with.
All your shit with. And Vlad?
I'll take it all.
So you have a sword at your hip.
I have a sword. It's a very ceremonial looking sword. I want to look as much like a retired guard captain as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm covered in pouches. I can just put stuff in my pouches.
I don't know if you're familiar with how Australian stuff looks, but there tends to be a great deal of detail given to carving your weaponry.
Oh, right.
So las guns and las pistols will have really beautiful, intricate carvings on them that you do yourself. It's a rite of passage. So as a firstborn, when I was drafted, I would have carved my las pistol, so it will look my las gun and my las pistol, so they will be personal looking effects. So I'll have that on the inside of my coat as usual, and a sword of my hip.
So are you wearing anything that would give you away? Give you away as being like an acolyte or anything like that?
No.
Oh, this would probably be a good point to figure out where you guys have got your rosettes. And in what form.
So my rough idea was it was for a kind of carved pendant, as it were.
Of the same bone as your spear?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay. And Ron?
I am not sure. Like maybe possibly on the underside of my arbiter badge.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I can just turn that around when I want to be officially inquisitorial.
Is it sort of magnetized to your chest then?
Yeah, I guess.
Like a fridge magnet type badge?
Yeah. Or like it's actually just it's attached to the suit. I don't really know.
Well, we need to be able to turn it around if you had your.
Well, yeah, it's just because I've just got my Judge Dredd thing so stuck in my head. I'm picturing it with the chain, like that massive chain that they have.
What about like in the film where it's like there's a bit in the armor which is the correct shape that it kind of clips into?
That could work, yeah.
So you can turn it around and then clip it back in.
Yeah.
Okay. And Vlad, where's yours?
See, I thought mine was a tattoo. Like, in this huge, bare, like, hairy man chest, one bald patch with a tattoo in it.
Does he keep it shaved?
But if that's... well, once it's tattooed, hair won't really grow over it.
Okay.
It's a scar.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether he keeps it like a neat circle around it.
He is very, very well groomed when it comes to hair.
That is probably like the world's most painful tattoo as well.
Yeah.
Because it's got like fucking technology encryptions in it.
So
just pour some firewater on it, clean it up.
So going with the tattoo, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just in case this goes wrong, of course, you'll need to be flashing your rosettes to get your ass out of it, or of course, killing your way out of it.
Yeah.
Right. You step out the door. I think Vlad had the key actually, because Romulus gave him the key when he went over to.
Yes.
You did, yeah.
Okay, Vlad, you lock up, and across the hallway, there is a sort of cordoned off area, which has some troopers stationed on it. They do not look very inviting, but also like they are very bored. Inside the sort of slightly ajar door, you can see the charred remains of the room that you were in last night. Yeah, those guards don't even acknowledge you. They just look really, really bored. Anyone interacting with them, or are we just continuing?
Ignoring them
I
completely.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
Okay. Just making sure you weren't
Probably
going to be going...
rubbing a bit, but...
making sure Keller wasn't going to go over and go, all right, mate, you didn't find a las pistol in there last night, did you?
I really strongly considered it. But the character isn't actually stupid. It's just ignorant. So...
right. And is it to the Hive Rail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the kind of Hive Rail map, once you're on it, virtually every one of the maps in this carriage has been defaced in some way. But you reckon you can find your way to the lower Hive with relative ease. This will be going further down the Hive than you were in when you came into the port.
Yeah.
You begin your travels. At every station you stop at, you see, when people like on the underground, when people just paste up their own posters over.
Yeah.
Virtually every one is completely sheeted in some fairly sort of propaganda-looking posters of purple and white with just the word Noctine on it.
Okay.
And you descend into the Hive. As you get further and further down, the lights begin to flicker inside the carriage until they actually go off, until between stations.
Mm-hmm.
This is because energy is actual power, electricity, is reserved for the upper Hivers.
Mm-hmm.
The further down you go, the more expensive energy is.
And they just stop doing it on the...
And in the lower Hive, they just don't give you it.
Yeah.
So any light sources you'll get down here are like illegal methane burners, and various like gas burners, and also petrol-driven generators.
Yeah.
Will give a bit of power as well.
The smell of the Underhive.
Yeah, it's basically it is lit, but only just, and it smells bad.
It's gonna be so weird for Keller.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So on the way down, I look at Romulus. So shouldn't I be cuffed? I suppose. If I'm meant to be crazy.
You're not being forced in this little idea we've got. This is a concerned father looking out for his daughter. Or wife. I don't care. You decide which.
Which would you prefer?
Would you like to be his wife or daughter?
Do people with pencil discs get married?
Oh, yes.
Rich ones do.
I guess wife makes more sense. He might hate his wife enough to bring her to this hellhole that you described.
I must think of a strong Vostroyan name for you. Or perhaps not. You do not have the strong jaw and proud chest of a Vostroyan woman.
I'll take that as a compliment, you jackass.
A man sitting across from you on the Hive Rail sniggers at that. He's loutish, very very loutish.
Something to say, citizen?
He takes a big swig of from a metal container he's got, and his legs are quite sort of spread. His clothing's quite shabby. He's got bad dye job and silver pointed teeth on the front four at the top, and he shows them all to you as he says, "No, not a thing," and goes back to staring at Keller.
Are we in like a train car? Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, imagine, in the first Christian Bale Batman movie, with the monorail that goes round, that kind of train compartment.
Yeah. It goes up and down as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I spin round and stand in front of him. Do you like what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I kind of do my best to be coy, but I'm not very good at it.
Without a doubt.
Okay, I kick him in the nuts.
Oh god. That's a
Yes,
mighty
buddy.
hit.
Don't be looking at my wife.
I am literally straight up kicking him in the nuts.
Yeah, I don't think that's. We even need to roll for that. His legs were spread.
Yeah.
Bitch, you got knocked the fuck out.
He begins throwing up noisily on the floor of the high rail compartment as you go into a period of darkness between stations.
I grab his hair, and so he's thrown up on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need to make a perception test if you want to continue this fight.
A perception test.
Whatever.
It's pitch black.
Oh yeah, true.
Awareness. Awareness. Yeah, awareness.
Okay, that's a couple of degrees of success.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
would be-
you're pretty. Go on, sorry, Nick.
If you don't have the blind fighting skill, it would be quite a nasty modifier.
That's a good point. You're aware of where he is. If you want to continue attacking.
Okay, no, I wasn't particularly going to do anything. I was just going to do a bit of interest. So I'll lean down basically towards him.
Yep.
Still like what you're looking at?
He continues noisily throwing up, but now it's just he's not bringing anything up. Funnily enough, before the lights went out, people throwing up hive food, it looks the same.
I have had a bad day. Now you're going to lie there and quietly empty what's left of your fucking bowels, or I'm going to take those silver pointies out of your mouth and stab you in the fucking eyes.
He audibly shits himself.
You know, citizen, that sounds like public defecation. Better not be defecating on the Emperor's property.
You hear a noise of him scrabbling away while shitting and throwing up. And his head noisily bumps into the door leading to the next compartment, and you hear like a sort of shaky hand scrabbling at the handle to get into the next compartment, until the noise of him eventually dies away.
That was just like being back in the academy.
You two are terrifying.
My hangover has gone away.
You two kind of like semi-subconsciously bring your knees together.
I feel I can be crazy for a night.
Where was this talk yesterday?
Not with you, Pencil Dick. Not with you.
Don't worry, man. You'll get there.
This is not turning into American Pie, 40k edition.
I think you'll find it is.
Imperial pie.
Imperial Pie.
Okay, how long does it take us to get to where we need to get?
It's going to be a few hours because there's the occasional disruption as power completely goes out, and there's a few kind of tremors. Would be Keller living on a fairly kind of active, like geologically active planet.
Yeah.
You know what an earthquake is.
Yeah.
And the tremors that precede it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is it. This is what you assume a tremor feels like inside a hive. Everything shakes. The train doesn't derail because it can't really, because it doesn't have space to do so. But nevertheless, you're all kind of shaken up and down quite violently and have to grip onto things. This happens several times.
Okay, I look at Romulus. Is this normal?
Is it?
Romulus, you've no idea what's going on at all.
No, this is not normal.
The Skylord's fucking angry. Jesus. This is bad. This is bad. I don't like being down here. When this happens, you get icebergs that flatten villages. Oh shit, you don't know what that is. Big cracks in the ground sometimes.
No, that's not something that happens on hives.
It fucking is because it's happening right now.
Vlad, you know what an earthquake feels like. You've actually been in a battle where one was happening.
Can I recommend you both copy me and get close to the ground?
Okay. Yeah. Close to the ground. Sure, I can do that.
Good.
You hear the noise of what you can only assume is the brakes on this thing detaching with the final shutters, and then it pulls forwards because it's automated to go forwards when power returns, and it begins picking up speed. It already felt fast. Romulus, you are aware of this. It is now going too fast for a hive rail.
Right. It's too fast. This is not right.
Is there a fucking driver?
Nope.
No.
Okay. What the fuck do we do? Is there like an emergency brake?
I have no idea.
I start
Not
looking
an
around
engineer.
frantically.
You
try
are
and see.
inside a metal box.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, you go first.
I'm going to take a terrifying glance out of the window and see how we still in a dark tube or.
You were in a dark tube, but then it lights begin like flashing past every sort of 45 seconds.
What's going on outside? I know we're moving at pace, but is it sort of densely packed?
Yeah, it gets kind of messy actually because people have been missing trains and stuff.
Yeah.
So the platforms were fairly full. So when your one comes close in, you know those lines that you're not supposed to cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are over those lines, and you're fairly sort of near to the front of the train. You're a few carriages in, and people are getting all kinds of misted over your glass.
I'm gonna go to the door that the door towards the front of the train.
Okay.
I've seen there's a door either side.
Yeah, there's just
Is it like train compartments? Is there like a connection, or is it just solid tube?
if you imagine the gaps between the two compartments are made of that kind of like that plastic concertina like stuff. Like that, so you can't actually see any visible connections, but if you were to try and cut through that, or even shoot through it for that matter, it's not made of metal.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my knife out and start frantically hacking at the bottom bit of it.
And the other two of you, what are you guys doing when Kelly goes to go and do this?
Can we see her at work?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm going to crawl over.
the lights flashing past are getting quite like it's every sort of 10 seconds now, so you've got a reasonable amount of light. Imagine every 10 seconds for 10 seconds you're losing light.
Right.
I'm going to crawl over and draw my sword.
Okay.
Join in as much as possible. I don't know what she's doing. I'm just going to copy.
Okay, and Romulus?
I'm gonna go over, but I can't really help.
All right, are you going to kind of like brace yourself?
Yeah.
Right, the two of you, can you make probably attack rolls with your?
Are these like just standard, like simple ones, or?
Yeah, just standard attacks.
Are we doing degrees of success matter, or?
I'm only interested if you fail, to be honest.
Okay.
Actually passed.
Hey.
So I'm gonna use the assassin ability to add a fate to spend a fate point to add the degrees of success to the damage.
Okay.
So I got 4 degrees of success.
Right. And do you want to roll your damage for me? Could you do the same, please, Vladimir?
Okay, so it's 9 plus.
13 altogether.
Are you allowing me to use my Death Dealer talent in this? Because technically a melee attack, and technically it applies to all melee attacks, but I can understand why you wouldn't allow that.
I think I'm not in this situation.
Yep. Okay, cool. So just strength bonus. Okay, so it's 9 plus 3. So it's 16.
Right. Between the two of you, you manage to cut through the base, like the floor area of this joint. And looking down, you've never seen anything more terrifying. It could have, well, you have, but it's not of something completely inanimate. This could be, like the maw that you've just opened up could be a screaming hellbeast. For all you know, with the noises that are coming through it and the lights that are flashing up forward, like the flashing red and like the jagged bits of plastic are kind of like sticking up like teeth.
Yeah.
And you see the coupling down there. There is no way a sword or a spear are going to get through that coupling.
That was a knife anyway, but okay.
I'll,
Shoot the fucking thing. Get us uncoupled.
I'm going to offer a prayer to him on Earth. And point my last pistol. The Emperor preserves, my friends. Oh, no. Was it no modifiers, right?
Yeah, modifiers. It's a standard attack, so plus 10.
Yeah, still 1 degree of failure then.
Failure. You miss, sir. It hits the tracks
You
underneath.
fucking idiot! Hit the damn thing!
What does it? How big is the connection made up of, Ben?
What, sorry?
Like, is it magnets? Is it metal hooked on? What is it?
It's metal hooked on.
Metal hooked on. Okay.
Why do you have like an anti-magnetic
I was
device?
thinking if it was just more technological, I could try and short it out with my electro staff. But
Oh right, okay.
if it's like more,
no, it's like actual.
if it's dumber than that, thus making it more,
Difficult.
better.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's a transit system that was designed to last without a tech priest looking at it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's 2 hooks held together by the momentum of the train and the weight of the carriages.
Yeah.
So, is anyone else going to be shooting at this thing, or are we relying on Vladimir being able to shoot straight?
I'll try. I'm worse at shooting him, and I'm firing hard bullets, so ricochets are a problem. But
all right, there's probably only room for 2 of you at this opening, so Keller, you're going to have to move if you want.
I will dive backwards and get in a kind of brace position against the wall.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll unload with my revolver.
That's gonna go so badly.
Okay, Romulus and Vladimir, you point your guns at your collective guns at the hooks and pull the triggers. Roll, please.
I say unload. It's a single shot, but
Yes! There we go.
oh no. 4 degrees of failure.
3 degrees of success.
Excellent. Romulus, you pull the trigger. What have you got a hand cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It ricochets noticeably straight through the door to the next carriage, and you hear a scream from the next carriage.
Surprised there wasn't screaming already. Considering
Most
we're
people,
going at a
most
million
people are
miles an
dead
hour.
already.
Yeah. But in the light, as it kind of like as stations flash by, you see the man with shit stains, and you've basically blown his hand off.
I'm just going to give him a shrug.
Um,
Sorry.
What can you do?
as the 2 carriages depart from each other, because Vladimir, your shot straight through the metal hooks, and your carriage begins decelerating fairly naturally because this particular route was flat, so you're just kind of running out of momentum. Whereas the front the sort of engine carriage and the first carriage and like any other carriages in the way continue on accelerating until they're out of eye line. Gradually, your carriage comes to a stop about 30 feet short of a station.
Train terminate here. Everybody off.
There are rails at the bottom. Imagine so a big pipe that you're inside, but rather than on the underground where it's like actual floor, the rails are the only bit of the floor which is like secure.
Yeah.
They're kind of like bound onto the pipeline, but through them you can see all the rest of the hive, like lit up a little bit. That's where the red lights were coming from. You can see all the other lines crisscrossing and worming their way through the hive.
Okay. Shall we get off?
Avoid the electrified rail.
Which one's the electrified one?
The middle one.
I'll point to the middle one.
Okay.
Okay. You begin carefully walking along until you reach the station. The station is empty, rather strangely, considering the stations that you saw before it got too fast, and looks extremely vandalised. Like, people definitely sleep here, and do everything else that people do in houses, such as piss.
I don't have my fucking spear.
I'm going to draw my sword and offer it to her, handle first. Be very careful with this.
Fine.
Okay. Right. So you hop up onto the station, and a few of the there's like 3 ways in and out of this platform. 2 of them have got gates down across them, and look fairly secure, and 1 leads to a tunnel that leads further into the hive. It's fairly lengthy.
Any idea where in the Emperor's name we are?
The map has been defaced, unfortunately.
No, but follow my lead. Can I make a navigate check, please?
Yes, you can.
Because I'm really good at this.
What
right,
has he now failed?
It's based on intelligence, which is 26, and then I've got a know is a skill, so I don't have a penalty, and then I've got plus 20 if in close spaces, which is hives,
Of course.
basically. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. 35, which is
1 degree.
1 degree of success against 46. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, you are pretty sure from the look of the station, and roughly your bearings on how fast you were going and how far away you were from your target destination, that you are now fairly deep within the lower hive, like bordering on underhive levels. It's always a little bit difficult to tell because this isn't your hive.
Yeah.
So you've never been here before, but from your judge, you may have only overshot your mark by a few stations, maybe 5 or 6 stations.
Okay.
Roughly the right level. Maybe you have to go up a little bit to get to where the asylums would be in your hive.
I think we're pretty close to where we need to be. Maybe give Vlad his sword back. He probably won't need it.
I handed it to him. I looked pretty uncomfortable holding it anyway.
What is this weapon design?
Balanced.
Why does it not weigh funny at the other end?
Eyes peeled. I'm going to lead the way.
I wish I had my spear. I'm also thinking, oh, maybe we should have tried to stop that train.
But
Kind of panicked
without
a bit there. Don't like
you
being
like
in.
me.
Don't like being in tunnels. It's not right. You need a sky above you and a nice field out in front of you. That's what you want.
Oh, but I wouldn't give for a little snow.
Anyway, I'm not good with like machines. Like, what could we have done?
Without a sanctioned member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, no guardsman should ever attempt to make repairs or alterations to machines belonging to the Imperium. This is very clearly outlined.
Right. Okay. I didn't understand a lot of that, but
Basically, don't mess with this stuff.
all right. Unless you got one of them metal men around, right?
Duh.
I heard someone call them cog boys. Is that the proper words?
They like to go by Adeptus Mechanicus.
Right. Okay. Well, I hope the bang at the end isn't too big.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
I don't like hives.
I'm not so fond myself.
You can feel the whole fucking weight of the thing pressing down on you.
I try not to think about it. You must have been in dangerous combat situation before.
It's not that. It's the... You can't get out and see the sun, and even if you could, the sun's covered by a fucking layer of scum fog. I don't like it. It's not right.
Do not worry, Keller. We'll make sure that we get to the bottom of this. Find out who is doing these things and get out of this hive.
I'll be alright if we just don't like it. I don't like it. I think I panicked a bit in there.
You're starting to see people, and I say people in the broadest sense. I mean, these are not well-to-do society types. They're little ragged balls of overalls, scrunched up into a corner that reek of piss, and various other sort of like substances. They kind of, even though they're kind of completely supine, the beady little eyes watch you wherever you go, sensing for weakness.
You've been quiet, Romulus. What are you thinking?
Just keeping my eyes peeled.
Sounds incredibly painful.
And thinking, what made that train go off the rails so fast?
Oh, I was saying to Vlad, we should have maybe tried to stop it. I kind of panicked a bit.
I
like
don't know.
tunnels.
I don't know anything about those things. I wouldn't know how to stop it.
As explained, is not the place of us. Is not for non-sanctioned member of Adeptus Mechanicus to be.
You're gonna have to
meddling
stop
with the
using the word
Emperor's technology.
sanctioned because I don't know what it means.
Allowed.
Thank you.
Right.
Paranoid man would say someone was trying to kill us. But I'm not a paranoid man.
Okay. How far have we got to go?
Not far.
These people look how you say, not cool.
I hope they fucking try something. I need to stamp somebody's teeth out.
They should leave us alone. You look dangerous enough.
So, did you come to places like this often, Romulus? Is this normal? Like,
I've been lower in the hive than this.
right.
I am having thought.
Go on.
When we are getting to Lundin, we should not be using own names.
That makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
It is easy enough to trace a Molotov. I should know. What should we call each other?
Just call me Keller. No one's going to know what it means anyway.
Okay.
Artemis.
You? Artemis? Good. Call me Rogel.
Roddle.
Rogel. R-O-G-A-L. Da.
So, Romulus, how crazy do you think I'm going to need to act to get in here?
Shouldn't be too much.
I imagine you could just pay them to take me anyway.
Pretty much.
I'll try.
What am I doing once I'm in? Am I finding a way to let you guys in later, or am I just scanning around?
We're not putting you straight in. He's going to ask for a tour.
Right.
We'll look around the place with you. I'm the appointed protector for our esteemed noble here.
Right.
Don't worry, I've done that before. Like, actually done it. I know how to do the role.
Alright.
Not for a while, but it used to be my main job.
After probably about 40 minutes worth of traipsing around in the hive, the Romulus, now Artemis, begins to get his bearings slightly more, and eventually you find your way to some fairly run-down Gothic-looking gates, which proclaim themselves to be Sanatorium Commedia.
Yeah, here we go. I knew I was going the right way.
There is a guard on the gate, not a Imperial guard, of course, just local defence force type. He looks extremely heavily armed, enough to see off the kind of vagrants that you've just walked past, but nothing you couldn't handle if you needed to. And he just nods you through when he sees what the makeup of the group looks like.
I'll give him a nod. One uniform to another.
He opens his mouth and he has no tongue, but waggles the little flap that he does have left at you, and makes a noise at you.
Cool.
I grin at him as widely as possible.
His hand goes to his gun.
I'll like point at her and do like round little circles with your index finger around the side of the head.
The loony symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I assume that symbol has survived to the 41st millennium.
Sign language is fucking mental.
Yeah. You managed to get yourselves through the gate without much further ado. once you're inside the gates, you see that the compound stretches out. It's fairly kind of bland. The building, it's quite towering, and kind of melds seamlessly with the walls of the hive, and probably goes further back. It's one of the few buildings in this area that's actually completely lit. And one of the lights is one that's issuing through the front doors, which are slightly ajar. Do you go through?
Yeah, I assume Romulus is leading the way.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll go in and I'll make a show of checking the corners.
Okay.
And then step and open the door wide for Rogel.
Rogel, how do you enter?
I'm gonna take her hand and put it on my arm, and then walk through as tall as I can, sort of pulling her with me.
And Keller.
I make an effort to stumble, but I also grip his fucking arm as hard as possible.
You find it iron. The Vostroyans, especially those that have been in the guard as long as him, they're just made of metal, basically.
Okay, it's a shame.
And you make quite the entrance for the receptionist. He is wearing quite sort of white, though they're a bit discoloured in places, quite loose clothing. It's orderly clothing of the future, but it's white as opposed to a surgical orderly. Welcome. He does this to each of you in turn.
I'll give him my scowliest scowl.
Ah, an arbiter. Excellent. If you could process yourself through that door there. He points to the right.
So I'll go through.
Have a nice day.
Wait. We are not here to trade in my arbiter.
I assume the young lady is going to be joining us here for an extended stay. So, and the arbiter has brought her, so he must process the paperwork through there, through the right-hand door, sir. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
No. I do not leave my wife in any such place. Listen, she's distressed.
And if she would go through the left-hand door, we will process her there. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
No, you misunderstand. I'm not here. This isn't a... She's not forced to be here. If you get my meaning. I haven't arrested this woman. I am assigned to protect our noble friend here. Our very wealthy noble friend here. And he wants to inspect the premises for his lovely wife.
Nonetheless, you must be processed before you can enter the facility. If you would like to take your wealthy patron with you into the right-hand door, that will be fine. However, the young lady must be processed on the left-hand door. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I don't like it here.
Shush, Bubla. I am handling. Listen here, you. I'm gonna lean in close so you can smell the mustache grease.
Yeah. The vacant expression on his face does not go.
Power.
Sorry, could you say that again?
I am a man of considerable power. I could elevate you 1, maybe 6 floors in this hive. If you were to but give me what I wish. Allow me, my beautiful wife, and my bodyguard here to have a little look around.
It was my understanding that she has been arrested and is being brought to this asylum. Is that not so?
No.
No, I bring her for her own potential safety.
She is to be a member of this asylum.
Perhaps, if I am pleased with what I see.
I would be
And
more
of
than
course-
willing to give you a tour of the facility, but prospective inmates must go through the left-hand door.
And their husbands?
Must go through the right-hand door.
Why don't you
This
let
is
both of them
unacceptable.
through the left-hand door, and I'll go for the right-hand door.
He seems to consult an inner kind of like call sheet. That would be acceptable. Yes.
Very good.
Sir,
Where
I'll
are
make
we?
sure it's above board.
Where are we?
Shush, shush, Bubala. It's
Where
all
are we?
okay. It's okay. We will all be having firewater and sandwiches soon. It's fine. It's fine.
You're going
To
to
the
have a
left,
lovely
though,
day.
A lovely day.
Through the left-hand door now.
I'm from an ice
I'm gonna-
planet, you know.
Of course you are.
I'm going to steer Keller through the left-hand door. Oy, boy.
You do so.
I'll give the orderly a thumbs up and just like, I'm sorry about him. You know what nobles are like.
I'm going to death stare Vladimir in the eyes.
The orderly looks at you, Romulus, with a completely vacant expression. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
You notice as you go to move through the door, the orderly goes back to staring at the entrance door, waiting for the next person to come in.
I'm just gonna mutter by the Emperor's balls under my breath. And I'll go for the right-hand door.
But they're glorious.
Quite
that's
desiccated.
actually in one of the books that I've got. There's a bunch of guardsmen, and like their tank gets hit by a shell, and one of them screams, "By the Emperor's shriveled balls."
Stunning. Okay,
Cannon.
through the right hand doors, Romulus, you enter and are greeted by several kind of bureaucratical looking men and women who thrust paperwork at you, and you begin the process of signing over your releases using the false name Artemis, I believe.
Yes. Hang on a sec. I just need to check something. Anybody mind if I have a glow stick?
Smoking is not permitted in the establishment.
Sure. I just want to get this done and go home.
Of course. Only 313 pages left to go.
Wonderful.
Don't worry, it'll all soon be revealed.
Sorry, what did you say?
It'll all soon be done.
That's not what you said.
I'm afraid it is, sir. That's exactly what he said.
No, he said revealed.
No, I heard him. He said done. All three of them are smiling at you.
You're all loons, aren't you?
We're members of the secretarial force.
And that is.
The people that administrate the asylum.
But before that, you were in the asylum, weren't you?
The three of them chorus together. You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps.
Oh, jeez, man.
Oh, sorry.
Do not want.
And
You're
they
not
go
wrong.
they go back to signing bits of paperwork for you to then co-sign.
I'm going to start writing, like, the names of Primarchs.
Right.
See
Okay.
how they react. Just like, are they actually reading this, or is it just busy work?
No, they don't react at all.
And I'm actually going to hold on to one of them and said, "Does this look right to you?"
It looks like you put the name in. Yes.
And this one here?
Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe my supervisor can help. If you can just go through the right-hand door for me.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna light up a glow stick and go through the right-hand door.
Meanwhile, in the left-hand door,
Fucking hell.
you walk down a corridor of mirrors.
The lunatics have taken over the asylum.
Plays over the intercom.
Why the fuck would there be a hole of... Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I'm waiting for your best Mark Hamill impression now, Ben.
And in the... can you both make awareness tests for me, please?
Yep, just normal.
Yes, please.
That's a fail. Yeah, it's a fail.
Yeah, it's a fail.
There is a sense of foreboding. This is all you can glean from this particular corridor. Until you reach the end, where there is a door. And you go through the door. And inside there is a single chair with a man stood in the corner with a clipboard and a pen. Hello!
Hi.
Good day.
Are you both submitting?
No one is submitting yet. We are here for a tour.
A tour? Oh, of course! I was told about you. If you'd like to follow me, please, don't worry about the chair. This room isn't for you. Let's go through the left-hand door.
Who was worrying about chairs? This way, Bubba.
Right, there is. You go through, and you see that there's. This is a quite sort of like a communal area where there's lots of people wearing the same white outfits as the orderlies, and also people that you assume are the inmates of the asylum, relaxing at play. Play includes sitting down and staring into space, gently gurgling to yourself, and attempting to count all your fingers. However, there are several doors leading off, and one of the doors looks like it has... I don't know, it looks like sort of semi-guarded by a few orderlies, and then when there's a little bit of a tussle between a few of the inmates, those orderlies begin walking over to sort out that tussle. The orderly that's with you is focusing her attention on Keller, and encouraging her to look at the range of data slates they have on how to count and how to read.
I can't read. I'm from an ice planet, you know. You don't read on ice planets.
We specialise in teaching people from ice planets to read. You'll love this one. It's about a girl like you, and she begins describing the story with her back turned to you, Vladimir.
I'm going to do what I think is a very brisk and nonchalant walk towards the door.
You go in this door. It leads to a sort of slightly more poorly lit corridor, which has a few more doors leading off it. And from one of them, you hear the mumblings of "Molotest! Molotest!"
What in the Emperor's name? I'm going to draw my las pistol and my sword. Okay. Are the doors locked or are they windowed?
They're windowed. In each of them, there is a padded cell. The first two you come to are empty, and the third has a face that you vaguely, very, very vaguely remember.
From whence?
Definitely, whilst you're on the planet. It's difficult to tell, really. I think. Have you got? Is there like a memory thing on this one?
No.
That would just be intelligence, wouldn't it? Or perception.
Possibly scrutiny, maybe.
Scrutiny, maybe.
Scrutiny is like sense motive, isn't it?
Okay.
So I would say it might be a straight up fellowship test.
Okay.
For faces, maybe fellowship. Yeah.
Nick, choose fellowship or intelligence.
I'll go with fellowship. That is a massive fail at 97.
90.
Jesus.
D100 systems, gotta love them.
You think it's yourself?
Look, it's me. Oh wait, that is glass.
You're pretty sure it's one of the acolytes you killed last night.
I know that guy. I killed that guy.
And this close too, through the glass, you can hear him saying Malatest in a strange voice, which doesn't. He's like really having to kind of take it through the throat, you know, to make that noise.
Sorry, am I with him at this? Am I in the orderly with him at this time?
No, you and the orderly are in the other room looking at data slates on how to read.
Oh God, it's not the one I clocked in the head, is it? We didn't actually like put a bullet in him.
Remember that he just failed that test, so he has no idea. Who it is.
Mellow test. Oh God, how dumb is my character? This is what I've got to think about now.
Can you make a perception test for me, please? An awareness. Sorry, awareness test. We play so many systems, I forget.
Yes.
No, it's also a failure.
There's a polite tap on your shoulder. Excuse me, sir.
Da.
Oh, those are nice weapons. Your wife and my colleague have stepped through to the next room. If you'd like to go through the right-hand door over there, please.
Oh God.
Of course. I was playing my wife's favourite game.
That's
We
quite
called it
alright.
The Lady and the Guardsman.
We have plenty of people here who'd like to play the lady and the guardsman.
Not with my wife, I hope.
Hopefully not. It's difficult to tell sometimes. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. I'm gonna put away the sword and keep the las pistol sort of tucked inside the jacket. So to the casual observer, it may look as if I'm just walking with the hand inside the, in the breast of the jacket.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But I am very definitely clutching my las pistol, and I head through the door.
You walk through into a room. It's more like imagine like a hangar on for airplanes, you know.
Yeah.
And there are metal tables spaced every 2 meters in a grid formation, as far as the eye can see, basically, with somebody on each of them. There's the occasional empty one. They're all wearing inmates' robes. And there's people walking. There's quite a few people walking in between them, occasionally asking them questions, and having answers screamed back at them. As far as you can see, the question is, what will happen next? And the answer is, it will be revealed. Some people are screaming this, and some people are quite happy about this. Make a fear roll.
Both of us, not just him.
You are not
It's just
with
him. Yeah, it's just him. I got taken away somewhere overnight.
Just willpower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. 3 degrees of failure.
3 degrees of failure. Right.
Fucking
Okay.
fear tests.
They are quite intense, aren't they? These fear tests.
We always
This is where I die.
Well, like a million times.
Mate, my willpower is 26. I am going to go so mad before the end of this campaign.
My
Mine's
willpower's
40.
25.
This is 14?
40. 40.
God, I thought you said 14 for a second, and I was like, what?
Okay. Fear. He succumbs to fear, failing the fear test. How many degrees of failure?
3.
3. D100, please.
12.
12. Reeling with shock, the character backs away from the source of his fear. He cannot willingly approach the object of his fear, but otherwise can act normally, with a -10 penalty on all tests until the end of the encounter. So, you back away from this room full of people being asked questions. This is a disturbing scene for you. You come from a culture which is distinct. I mean, if you just think about the Vostroyans in the Guard, they are very separate from normal guardsmen. Your very weapons have your individuality stamped on them with your own carvings. People in this room are being homogenized and indoctrinated. It goes completely against the tenets of being Vostroyan, and you back away in fear. Meanwhile, Romulus, aka Artemis, you enter the supervisor's room. Hello there.
At this point, I'm pretty sure that, slowed by the hangover slightly, my keen inquisitive mind has kicked in. And I've realised that those people we saw shouting revealed and throwing grenades were really quite bad at the tumbling acts they were trying to perform. And it appears that these lunatics have all been taught how to do quite basic things. And one of them said revealed, so yeah, this isn't good. I'm in a bad mood.
Okay, what are you saying to this guy?
Hey.
I'm terribly sorry about my colleagues. They're new to their position.
You're not them.
No, I've been doing this for some years now. 2, actually.
I suppose you could say you've revealed the talent for it.
Not really.
No?
No. Anyway, I understand you're having some kind of problem with the paperwork?
Yeah. I want to know if I got these names right, and I'll hand them the form over.
No, I don't think so. Unless you brought in some fairly famous figures.
Yeah. Well, maybe I got confused. The noble who I'm decided to guard his name's Rogel, and then one of the Primarchs is Rogel Dorn. I don't know.
One of the inmates is Rogel. Okay, if you can write down on these forms Rogel, please.
No, he's not the inmate. He's the inmate's husband.
Okay, then it's one of these forms, please. Can you write his name down for me, please?
No.
What?
I said no.
Why not?
Because this place gives me the creeps.
That's understandable. It takes most people like that the first time. But if you want to rejoin them, I need you to finish these forms off so we can make this legitimate, and I'll have them send over to your supervisor.
No, thank you. I think we'll be going now.
You'll be going? What,
yeah.
Without completing the forms?
Uh-huh.
That's not normal behavior. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, you sure you're okay?
I'm perfectly fine. You're the one that's
yeah,
not being normal.
Right, yeah?
Do you want me to call the orderlies in? We've got something that could calm you right down.
Don't call the orderlies in. I'm just gonna go.
No, sir. I really think you should stay. If you can't even fill out a form, how can you possibly exist in the hive world out there?
No, it's not that I can't fill out a form. I just don't want to.
Well, we can address that here. We have people that you can talk to. It will be fine.
I don't need to talk to anybody, son.
You need to stop worrying and just relax, okay?
I'm not worrying. I'm just trying to enjoy my low stick.
Smoking is not allowed in here. Who told you that you could smoke in here?
Oh, no one.
Okay, this is not normal behavior. We need to make you normal, okay?
How many dogs are in this room?
2. The one you came through and the one on the right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through this stuff here. Is that okay?
Yes, you can go through that door there.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the door behind me instead, then. I'm gonna go back out the door I just came through.
There are several fairly sort of heavy-looking orderlies, and
Yeah,
of course the three bureaucrats you left behind.
I'm gonna drop my cigarette. Draw my weapons. Who's first?
One of the bureaucrats says, "Look, sir, this is not necessary."
You! I'm gonna clock him in the face.
So the bureaucrats are stood behind the heavies. So he's kind of talking at you from behind the heavies. So if you want to hit him, you need to shoot him.
Right, okay, no, I won't shoot him then.
Don't do that.
Sir, I need you to calm down right now, okay?
Oh, I'm pretty calm.
You have your weapons drawn.
These big orderlies, it's threatening. Sorry, it's just instinct.
They are here to help. We can make you normal.
I am normal.
Really? Going around smoking?
Well, I suppose, it's the stress of the job.
We can take all of that stress away. We've helped many people inside the Adeptus Arbiters.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, boy.
I'm a girl. I think.
Okay, I'm just gonna go.
We absolutely cannot allow that. And one of the big guys says, "Sir, I think you need to stay here now."
So you're first then.
Are you going to attack him?
I'm gonna clock him in the jaw, yeah.
Okay, right, okay. So I'm now going to roll initiative for everyone else in the room.
Yep. That's D10 plus your agility, right?
Yeah.
Guys, remember that time when the whole party died in an insane asylum?
10.
You go first. They're going to go as a clump.
Okay.
5.
So how big is this room?
Enough room for a desk with lots and lots of papers on. 3 people sat behind this long desk. And
right.
Imagine like a trestle table. And then now two sort of big guys have entered as well.
And how close to me are the big guys?
The big guys are quite close to you. The smaller, bureaucratical-looking people are pressed against the wall, and 2 of them are by the door, which is the exit.
So are both of the orderlies in combat range of me?
Easily.
Okay, I'm going to use Whirlwind of Death then.
Excellent. Go for it.
Alright. So it's just 2 normal attacks. So you get plus 10 melee attacks as well, don't you?
As long as they're standard, yeah.
Yep, okay. So this is against the first one. Do I need to hit with the first one? I can't remember. Hang on, sorry, I'll just have to check.
Yeah, I think you need to hit with the first one.
If I hit, I get an extra one.
So you check. You're probably right.
Yeah. Whirlwind of Death. No, I just get to make an additional one against each foe engaged in close combat. So I just get 2 attacks.
Okay.
Well, I just get as many attacks as guys are engaged in close combat.
Do you not get, like, progressive minuses for...
Nope.
Wow.
It's like whirlwind attack in D&D or whatever, so you basically attack everything that's next to you.
Okay. Let's go with it then.
Okay, first one, I got 3. Right, is a hit.
Yeah.
And second one, I got 23, which is also a hit.
Okay. They both get reactions. 24, that's a dodge on the first guy.
Mm-hmm.
And 9, that is also a dodge.
Okay, fair enough. I do not hit either of them.
So you basically swing your shot stick around, is it? And they both kind of like sway out of the way of it. They have the kind of practiced dealing with mad people lashing out look to their movements. Do you have any other actions, or is that a full round?
We still. I might get 1 shot with my gun as well. I think only the 1 though.
Was whirlwind attack a half action or a full action?
It's a half action.
You can only use one attack action a round.
Yeah, it's just as a half action, the character may make 1 standard attack action, and then for 2 weapon wielder, it's after making a half action attack, I can make a single additional half action attack. So I think I get the 1 extra shot, but I only ever get 1 extra shot.
I think I'm going to need like a group consensus on how we want this to be played. Do you want
how I'm reading 2 weapon wielder is, you have your weapon skill or ballistic skill as the aptitude. So how I'm reading it is you can either have 2.
He's got them both.
I've taken it twice. if you take this talent can be taken twice, each time with a different specialization. If you possess both talents, then you can fight with one melee and one ranged weapon.
So he has taken it twice.
I
have
it
taken it
allows
twice.
you.
How
It allows
how
you
I'm
to
reading.
make a half. Go on.
Sorry, how I'm reading the last bit is both of these attacks count as being part of the same half action. Are both estimated to maybe the attack weapon suffer a -20 penalty. So the idea is it happens at the same time.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get you. Yep, sure. So that's my actions then, Ben.
Okay. But so was that a half round action or was that a full round action?
That was a half action, but like I don't really have another action.
You can use that half action to aim your gun, for example.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll aim my gun then.
Or you can just aim in general. I think you can use aim for melee if you want to do melee instead.
I'll aim for melee instead.
Aim for melee. Okay,
yeah.
So I believe that just gives you a +10 hit.
Yep.
Not sure whether that stacks across all of your attacks.
It's two separate attack rolls, so it'll be the first one.
Just the first one. Okay. Speaking of, the first big guy swings a fist made entirely of dustbin at you. Right, let's give this a go. Weapon skill. That's pretty low. Let's try this. 19. That is a hit. Do you want to go for a reaction against this guy?
Little parry, because I'm pretty good at that. I got a 9, so it's 4 degrees of success.
What happens when you parry with a shocking weapon against someone who's punching?
You need to deal a point of damage, and you don't deal damage by parrying.
Fair enough. Okay. So it's more like you kind of like bat it away than actually.
Yeah, like I think it's like I swing it and he has to pull his punch because electricity goes past him, basically.
Okay.
Or I get him with the hilt and knock it away because it's only the end of it is electrified.
Okay, and the second guy is going to swing a punch at you as well. He got 49, so that's a miss. And he completely misses you. They are both going to aim for the next round as well.
Okay.
I think
the three guys in the back are going to use their actions to leave the combat.
Yep, that's fair enough.
Back around to you.
I'm gonna try to hit them both again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go for roll under death again. First one with my aim bonus, so this one I've got to roll under 60.
Sorry, Chris, what is it?
Just for reference, Ben. So if Gary becomes outnumbered 3-1 or more, these guys will be getting +20 on the melee attacks against him instead of +10.
Right, okay.
Because he's outnumbered.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Right, my first one's a hit, and my second one's a hit. I got 10 and 15, so on both hits.
Go with your actions again. 62, the first one does hit. And 99.
Jesus!
The second one also hits.
Okay, so damage on the first one. What's my strength? 31, right. Okay, damage on the first one is... Oh, Jesus. I rolled a 10, so I rolled at 16.
So you have to confirm. You have to confirm to hit again, and then you might be able to get an extra damage. Get more damage dice.
Yep. The aim doesn't carry over onto that one, does it? The confirm to hit again.
No, you're just rolling a d10 again to see if you. Well, if you roll a d10, the damage and get a 10, you get Righteous Fury, which means you roll the d10 again to do more damage.
Oh,
you have to the first time before you can roll the extra dice. You have to.
Again.
Yeah. It's like you have to confirm it. You have to roll to hit again. And if you do get that, then you get to keep rolling to get more damage.
That hit have the same bonuses?
Yeah, it's the same as the original attack, I seem to remember.
It's a roll against the same difficulty, okay.
Yeah.
60, so bang on. Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I confirm, so I roll damage again.
Yeah.
That's a 5, so that is 21 damage to the first one.
And did you roll 9 against this guy, or 19?
This was 15 against the first guy.
No, sorry, the actual hit. I'm trying to figure out the hit location. So
the hit was 15.
Hit was 15. Okay, right arm.
It was 15 and 10. So the first one is 51. So it's body. Or you invert it.
Sorry, what?
You invert the roll.
I thought we weren't doing that.
We were.
Yeah,
It's just we're counting 1 as 10. That was what we
Okay.
decided. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's body. It's a body hit.
It's a body hit. Okay, and you deal him how much damage, please?
21.
21. Okay, down to 18, 8 over. The force of the attack ruptures several of the target's organs and knocks him down, gasping in wretched pain. The target suffers blood loss. Permanently reduce the toughness characteristic by D10.
He also technically has to make a toughness check because of the shock.
He has to make a toughness check for the shock as well.
I think you probably apply the critical effects first, do you?
Yes.
Presumably.
And he rolled a 10 on the reduction of his toughness. And rolled a 1 on the resistance test to the shock.
Okay. No, he isn't shocked, but he's lost some organs.
Right, he's not well. He's down on the ground. He's retching.
And then damage to the second guy.
Yeah, damage to the second guy.
A 9. So it's 15 damage.
15 down to 12. Okay, you give him a significant whack, but he doesn't go down.
That's to the head.
Okay.
He needs to
make a toughness check, doesn't he? Okay,
Yeah.
The initial impact is a very heavy thunk. This guy's got a very thick skull and kind of goes, right. And then you pull the trigger on the shock stick, and he gets 72.
He is stunned then.
He begins shivering, and his arms go up the zombie fashion, and he judders his way over to the table that has all the papers on and goes crashing down through it.
I'm gonna aim my pistol at him.
I mean, he's still kind of shaking on the ground.
Yeah, just in case he gets up. I'll aim at the one who isn't electrified.
The guy that you broke the insides of.
Yeah, just in case.
You've definitely hospitalised both of these men.
I mean, I know. I'm being cautious.
Okay.
I'm just taking it. I don't have to choose who I'm aiming at, so I'm just using an aim action, just in case someone else bursts into the room or something.
Okay, so you're not leaving the room. You're just aiming generally.
From this.
Sorry, what was that, Gary?
We're running half action. I'll just aim. Yes.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Keller, once the wonders of reading, even if you are from an ice planet, has been explained to you, you're continually shown through doors. If you ever ask about your husband, he's off signing paperwork for your commission, for your committal to the asylum.
Okay. So I'm going to start acting increasingly worried and scared. Where's my husband? I want my husband.
It's okay. It's okay. He's just over here. He's just over here. Please stay normal. Please be normal. Please.
He's not through that door, is he? He wasn't through the last 10.
He's right through this door, right here. And she points to the door. As you look at it, a needle slides into your neck.
Okay. Do not get any kind of dodge roll.
Not if you've been playing your role correctly. As the kind of sort of slightly insane, looking around kind of person.
Okay.
They are extremely used to injecting inmates. And the plunger goes down. You feel so happy. It's okay. It just nothing matters anymore. It's all fine. It's all going to be good. And you just know that Vladimir's on the other side of that door. And you go through with the woman. And she asks you to just take a seat for a moment and feel free if you need to lie down. And you do so. It's really comfy on this sofa. And you do so. And then she gives you a cushion to hold. And it's so lovely. Vladimir, from the other end of the hall, with your back pressed up against the wall, looking down, you see Keller is brought through one of the far doors and placed on one of the metal tables and restrained on it. She appears from your vantage point to be smiling, which is terrifying in itself. What are you doing? Have we lost Nick?
Have we lost Nico?
Showing up as hearing the call.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can now.
you're back.
There we go. Mic malfunction. Yeah, I can't move into the room, can I?
So you're in the room, but you can't approach the source of your fear. The source of your fear was the homogenized mass. So Keller doesn't
You have to
count
edge
as
around
that.
them.
So you'd have to edge around it to get towards her.
Alright, I'm gonna start high speed edging.
Or you could pull the trigger. Make them run away from you.
Well, I think what he's actually afraid of is kind of like the people that are chained
Yeah.
to that are restrained. So
Oh,
they
they're
can't-
restrained, are they? Sorry, I hadn't realised they were restrained.
They're all on
Sorry.
metal tables with restraints on their wrists and ankles,
Right. Okay, I get you.
with
Bit
orderlies
clockwork
going
orange.
between them. Right. Okay. So Vladimir, you edge quickly along the edge until you reach Keller. It takes maybe 40 seconds. She doesn't have an orderly on her at the moment, and there is an empty table next to her. What do you do?
I'm gonna get. Are there any orderly, close that I can see?
No.
Hmm.
There are
And
there are some within 30, 40 feet, but they're all kind of going around doing their business, not really paying much attention to you.
Okay. Do the manacles look like they could be opened with some force?
It's a fairly heavy key lock. I'm thinking sort of half-inch gauge steel. So probably not. You might be able to shoot them off, but you might blow a handle.
I'm
I
back
might
in a
blow up a
second.
limb or something. Okay, I'm going to get my las pistol at the ready and lay down on the table next to her.
Okay, so in a sort of as if you were restrained kind of way.
Yeah.
But is your las pistol still in your hand?
Flap of my coat over it.
Okay. So it's kind of
Good.
semi-concealed.
Yeah, it's a trench coat, so it's open and over the thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right. Around this kind of time, the doors all kind of close. Not with the kind of finality of shutters coming down, but just they all kind of on a timer do close. All the ones that enter onto this huge hangar area, and the lights dim and finally go off. The orderlies all head towards the edges of the room and begin staring up at the ceiling. Of course, all of you who are lying down on the tables are already looking up at the ceiling. There is a noise which is the absence of noise, like a huge sucking silence, and then a ball of black fire appears above you and whispers dark things at you.
Okay, I'm assuming we get some corruption points.
Yeah, I'm just about to roll it.
I'm gonna say I just want to pump my las pistol rounds into it.
Pay him back.
Right, Keller, that's 5.
Okay.
And
No.
oh shit! And 5 for you as well, please, Vlad.
Oh, I'm on 9.
I'm on 9 as well.
Ooh, close stuff. This this is pretty bad. This thing is talking to you without words. It's speaking directly into your mind, and you feel like there is a truth somewhere there, but you're not really sure how to get at it. And then a man walks along the central aisle with his staff raised high, and then more men begin walking in from the sides of the room, and they've all got staffs, and they really pointed towards this ball of black fire, and they scream "revealed," and all of a sudden the truth is apparent to you, and it's that you're going to have a lovely day. Vlad, you say you're emptying your las pistol.
Yeah, I'm just going to point it straight into the... I don't like this thing talking to my brain. I'm going to start firing shots into it.
Vlad does the typical Vistroyan thing, hops up onto the table, stands up on the table and puts himself at a perfect shooting angle at it and pulls the trigger repeatedly on his las pistol. It acts like it's a hologram. The bullets just go straight through it. You fire 3 before you realise that all you're doing is ricocheting. Keller, okay. The effects of your injection are being swiftly metabolised by your incredible ice planet physique. And you soon feel... Yeah, you soon feel extremely pissed off, which is your natural state.
It is my natural state. Okay, as soon as I realise what the fuck's going on, I'm going to start making strength checks to try and break out of these restraints, if that's okay.
Yeah. These restraints are extremely... they're proper restraints. They're not.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. It's just I'm going to start thrashing around to try and.
Yeah. It's not even test worthy.
Yep.
Unless you're wearing power armor, there's no way you're getting out of these. Someone needs to let you out of these.
Okay, I'll probably just start pulling on them quite hard then.
Vlad, after you've fired the 3rd shot, you realise that Keller is bucking like crazy on her table, trying to wrench herself free, but that steel is not giving.
I'll jump down to the side. Keller, I'm going to get out of here.
Have you got a key? A key? Something.
Key. Guards have keys, yes. Just wait. I'm going to make my way towards the edge of the room, keeping low. Guards been training, kicking in.
Okay, the men and women in the hall have been paying absolutely no attention to what you've been doing whatsoever. Not even the slightest twitch of a robe when you fired your gun, nor when Keller began bucking. And you were doing like a semi kind of crouched run, get to the edge of the hall very swiftly. What's your next move?
Is the key anywhere visible, or is it inside the robes?
So the people, there are orderlies stood staring up at the black ball of fire.
Yeah.
By the doors. They too are not paying any attention. Each of them has an ornate key hanging from their belt, like a sort of like a ye olde jailer.
I have to go for one, don't I? Make way toward them.
Okay. I assume you'd be sort of like putting your gun under one's chin and then taking the key. And if they try anything, you'll just pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You very carefully tuck your las pistol underneath this guy's chin, and then make a reach for the key. He swivels his attention very slowly on you, gives you a beatific smile, and then turns it back to the main attraction.
Oh, I feel like I should pop him anyway. Oh, that's so dumb though. I'm going to take the keys. Considering the situation, just sprint back to Keller.
You do so and begin unlocking her restraints. Keller, your left, right hand, then your left and right feet are freed by Vladimir.
Okay, so while he's been doing that, I'm gonna be looking as much around the room as possible. So did you say there was like a leader who came in?
There was one wearing some robes, and then through all of the doorways, more people wearing exactly the same came through.
Did the guy come in first have anything special about it? I can make an awareness check if you want.
No, he didn't. They're all wearing extremely simple white robes, and all holding the same staff.
Okay.
Everything in this room is completely homogenized. You know, you two are the only things that stand out from the pattern. Okay, next moves, guys.
Do you want initiative order or not?
That depends on what you're doing.
If
If you're planning to fight them, we might need to think about that. If you're going to be sort of attempting complex actions, then we might need to think about that. If you're both running, then we don't.
So I'm gonna look at Vladimir. This is a fucking cult. We should kill him.
We can kill them once we find Romulus. I do not leave without him.
There is a tremor. And the ground beneath your feet begins to shake.
We need to stop this.
Okay, pick one. I'm going to indicate the guys with the robes.
Okay, I'm gonna literally pull Vladimir's sword out of his scabbard and charge it at that guy.
Okay, and what are you doing to him?
Stabbing him in some way.
You do so. These guys are not defending themselves at this point.
Okay.
You run this guy through, and the last word from his lips is revealed, and then he collapses. The star abruptly turns off above you, this image of the coma star, and everyone's attention in this room, probably somewhere around 700 people, turns on the two of you as the tremors continue.
The majority of them are strapped down, though, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So how many orderlies and dudes in robes are there?
Probably about 200.
Okay. Now I start running.
I'm going to follow suit.
They give chase. A huge homogenized mass of cultists pursues you from the room as you burst through the nearest set of doors to you, I suppose, and you come to door after door after door. Do you take the left door or the right door each time?
Left.
The left door. You burst through door after door after door, and then reach a hall of mirrors.
As in, like, a hall of made mirrors, or a hall of mirrors as in a carnival hall of mirrors?
It's a hall that's made of mirrors, and they are carnival mirrors.
This is like the one we came through, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is
keep running, I guess.
as fuck.
Barrel down it.
Barrel down it, okay. You enter the reception area once more, and Romulus is thrown backwards through what was the right-hand door, followed by what is I don't know what the collective noun for henchman is. I want to say gaggle.
Stooges.
A wrangling of henchmen.
A rambling of henchmen.
Wrangling.
A serious wrangling of henchmen. Meatheads to a man. He looks like he's been having fun and is definitely not losing the fight. He just happened to get thrown backwards through a door. And he stands up and screams,
Have it!
As I've had my las pistol leveled this whole time, I'm going to fire it into whoever threw him. I'm assuming he's going to hit the deck.
Yeah. They're none of them are going to be putting up more of a fight if you start firing bullets at them. They're none of them are armed.
I'll just pop the closest, the front one.
He does so. I mean, yeah, I think probably a centre mass shot just to be safe, and he goes down. Romulus.
There are a fuck ton of people chasing us.
Yeah, me too.
We need to go.
Clock one.
The three of you exit through the front door and rip past the gates. That guardsman is no longer there. The tremors become extremely intense, and you hear the gates behind you shake off their hinges, and sections of the ceiling begin falling down. There is then a rather large explosion very, very far away, but nonetheless the shockwaves ripple through, and the floor you are currently stood on collapses.